All set?
Yep.
Good afternoon, the time being 5:48 p.m. I call the meeting of the Tilton Northfield Fire Commissioners of October 5th, 2021 to order. Let the record show that present are Deputy Robertson, Deputy Joubert, Chief Setar, Captain Tobine, and the 3 commissioners. Are there any public comments from members of the district, employees of the district?
Moving right along.
Moving right along.
Good.
Correspondence.
We don't have any of that either.
We don't have any of that, all right.
Ooh,
Wow.
you're flying.
Yeah, but we're gonna
Keep the momentum.
Chief's report.
I sent the chief's report out last Friday evening. You've all had a chance to review it, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Have we had to rely on Laconia for anything at all? Because isn't that our backup in that previous email?
They come to us on a first alarm. Ambulance-wise, I don't think we've used them in the last month.
No, but just for fire, have we had any issues?
They're on automatic right now.
They were on automatic. They're back now to first alarm threat anywhere in our district, except where they're not automatic.
I only asked that reason because my buddy's car on Monday, up in Littleton, caught on fire while I was driving it. And Littleton, I guess, having problems with their engines. And what pulls up but a Boston Fire Department engine.
That's their engine.
They're renting it or something.
That's their engine.
Yeah, oh, okay. I was just like, oh. I don't know if we borrowed one.
No.
I see the pickup was up to, you're on Route 3 with the plow on it?
Yeah, it's the plow's getting serviced and repaired.
I think about the snow.
Make sure it works before the snow flies.
What's the mutual aid transport on number 10, the safer effect? 1.5 to, so is that minutes?
Oh, we're at average monthly mutual aid transport. So before we had the safer employees on board, we were using a mutual aid ambulance. It averaged out to 6.5 times per month.
Okay.
We're down to 1.5. Actually, it's less than that right now, but I hadn't changed that figure. It's 1.2 right now. Last month, only one patient was transported, I believe, by
Yeah, it says
a
that.
mutual aid ambulance.
And is this Lucas Hardy? He resigned?
He's resigning. His last day is at the end of the month. He's going back to the private sector.
This is what we talked about in the past?
Yes, we talked.
Yes, the last meeting.
Any leak surprises on repairs?
Any surprises? Just,
What's it?
we were involved in an accident last Saturday. The engine was involved with an accident with another vehicle. It was the other vehicle's fault. Nobody was hurt. The engine was out of service until Primex said we could put it back in service, so they had to look at it. That was for a day or two. And we pushed the pump. The bumper got bent out, and that's been pushed back and will be repaired. when it's convenient to do so. Maybe until after the new engine's in service, we'll wait. So we're not running the ladder first through and leaving it outside.
I'd like to make a request on that, that a notification go out to the commissioners, just so that we know of that before the public asked me a question last night.
Yep.
Now that, since it was last Saturday, or Saturday, and,
Sure, I understand.
Yeah, I didn't know about it at all.
yeah, as I'm going to my meeting, I'm getting a
Yep.
text, did it have an accident? I'm like, I don't know.
That's on me, I should have done that.
Everyone's okay?
Everyone's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Yep.
I mean, replace a bumper.
Yeah, A1 chief.
Oh, yeah, A1's hydraulic booster for the brakes needs to be replaced, and we're waiting on that part.
So that got towed to Concord on Monday, in case anyone asked you why the ambulance was on the tow truck.
Thank you.
A1 or A3?
A1,
That's the Ford.
yes,
No,
So we're down to one ambulance currently?
correct.
it is A3, A2.
A2,
Yeah, which is the Chevy,
yes.
which needs a new front end.
Well, it's been repaired to be safe, correct, currently.
You said engine 3 is serviceable, back in service now,
Back
that's
in
been looked
service.
at.
Yep.
Also, A1's back.
Nope,
No,
no,
Engine,
engine 3 is
Engine
back
3.
in service.
Okay.
A1,
Losing
I expect to
track.
have back, hopefully tomorrow or the next day.
on the runs, just for comment, I noticed that there's probably 1/3 to somewhere between a third and a half is individual medical response of ambulance only. It was nice to see. Definitely noticed a significant change of, what, I didn't count exactly, but yeah, easily of the EMS calls, at least a third were ambulance only, which is nice to see.
So that's really dictated as the type of medical call that
It
comes in as.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, when you get there, it's like, this isn't what you said it was, and you need extra help.
We've also had new call members riding on the ambulance and students or two riding on the ambulance. We've had 3 instead of 2.
Yep.
Good.
That helps out as well.
Mhm. I also saw that you started, at least some of the calls marked down for C1 and C3 were being added, so I appreciate taking that input.
So the other part about that is just trying to transition to a new records management system, and so the reports are going to be kind of messy for a little while and not complete on either side, because we're trying to learn the new system and still trying keeping track of the old system, and we're not requiring people to do reports twice.
Yeah.
So
And then the deputy was the overachiever again on the inspections.
Oh, yeah.
Is it slowing down? I mean, is it getting busier? Is it
It's
slowing?
going to get busier now. Summer was really busy with commercial inspections. There's a lot of
Now you're doing
commercial
residential?
A lot of residential this time of year.
everybody wants to get
The heating system
everything
new
in
stove
before the
in.
winter's done, gas appliances and.
See, we're doing 10 inspections.
Hmm?
See?
10.
Oh,
That's what it says.
Yes,
Yeah, we do.
yes, we do tent inspections.
That's up at the Tilton School, I would imagine. I didn't see
Any
where.
tent that's
Any
used as a place
tent.
of assembly.
You see the tent that's in front of the 99, we inspected that.
Remember what happened in Lancaster?
That's why.
Huh?
Remember what happened in Lancaster?
Yeah.
What's the Echo Lodge? Oh, that's up in
School,
Spalding,
that's
yeah. I thought it was in Colorado, like, wow.
That's the music and art building. Oh, no, I take it back. That's the outdoor recreation building.
Right.
What were they above last year for revenues last month?
Where were we?
Yeah, what were
At last month, I don't have that paperwork with me, but,
I know what that is.
30,000, we collected about 30,000 last month, I think.
No, you said your third bullet down,
Oh.
or 24,000 ahead over last year.
Yeah, so we're a lot more, I think we're 14 above, or 11 or 14, I can't remember the number, but we're significantly more than we were last month. So we're on target for a lot of stuff.
Are they ever gonna get that tower up, or?
Yes, I can talk about that in the next section.
We still have one of these vehicle repairs, that's good. That's amazing that we have money still. Friday seems so long ago. Anything? No? No, all right. All right, new business. I don't see anything, but is there any new business?
Nope.
All right. Let's go down the sheet here, old business, Park Street boring.
So the company came in and did the borings on Park Street last week. I don't know what day it was. I talked to John Arthur, and he's waiting to get the report from the boring company. I don't believe we're gonna have to pay anything for this boring report, so which is good going forward.
And they were up into the potential footprint area
Yes.
as
We're
well.
pretty close to the station. There's a big truck.
Yeah, you can, if you drive over, you can see all the foot tire tracks in the grass where the truck was.
How far down did they go?
They went deep.
Yeah.
I think he said they were going like 50 or 60 feet deep.
Oh, well. We don't have to go that deep for anything, but never know. All right. And then the station committee update. Mr. Silly.
So, one of the things that we had from the meeting last time is a request, Kyle Barker, right, is the old,
He's the architect.
any and all documents that we've paid for in the past, we're looking to get copies of. Any conceptuals, anything he had since the district paid for it, we would like to have those available to the committee, just to see. The committee would also like to really look at going with design build rather than a large engineer firm, because there's inherent costs with going with a large engineer firm where you can get a design build. Samverton Public Safety Building, they did design build for their police station public safety building, and it saves a lot of costs.
Was that same company, same architect, or is this more like going with,
You get a contractor, and it's
Yeah.
like, make it happen, and, because when you start going into all these other architect fees and all that, that just adds to the cost big time, whereas the design built, you pretty much, this is what we want built, make it happen. They have staff within their companies who kind of design the electrical for them, rather than having an electrical engineer and an architect firm design it, stamp it, they build it to what you want, which
So to get a building permit, you still need a stamped engineer.
It would have to be stamped, yes.
Yeah.
Any print needs that, yes.
Did we ever check with Steve Carey on the design? That was the addition to the station down there?
Yeah, we did ask the
Okay.
chief and we looked for it, we couldn't
Alright.
find it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we asked last
I
time
remember
around
seeing
for
it,
the
it was
prints.
posted and,
Couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
We checked up in the loft and then all the boxes.
Do we have all those old architectural
Yeah.
plans or?
yeah.
I believe there, we have them, and I believe the last committee probably already looked at all of them, but anything that,
Not the actual prints, we didn't.
we never got blueprints for
Right.
anything.
Okay.
We just got, on the last,
Conceptual.
a conceptual was how big a building you
Mhm.
could fit on Park Street. The other conceptual plan was a fire station over on Manville Road,
Mhm.
and then there was the two-story fire station at the Tilton School. And those were the only real
Right.
floor plan conceptual things. Other than that, there was nothing electrical or any other engineering or anything like that done.
It's just a lot can be gathered from that information and where we've already paid for it.
Oh, no,
I
I'm
don't
not,
want
I
it in
just
our
wanted,
hands
I didn't know
over
what
here.
we had, I mean,
Yeah, I remember when I started getting involved following the stations, because that's really when I started getting involved in this whole thing, was you had conceptual designs to bring to the public for the Tilton School and the Manville, and so it's Park Street with the bunk area added on to it with the Manville Road. There was a little bit of conceptual with that.
Yep.
Was there ever
That was-
conceptual for Salmon Road?
Sanborn Road, not that I'm aware. If there was, I don't
I
know.
don't remember.
that was for the life safety? When it was
Talking about
gonna be
Jill?
Was
No,
that,
J.J.
was that with the police
I don't
department?
remember anything.
Was it, because that was like,
No, I don't believe so. With the police department was up on Industrial Drive.
no, I thought there was, wasn't there a plan that failed by one vote that was?
Well, there was a plan that never made it to town vote
Okay,
because the developers offered it for sale. And then 2 weeks before town meeting, they withdrew their offer to sell the property. And I thought there were conceptual drawings,
That's the J. Jill property.
the J. Jill property.
yeah, but I thought that was the life safety complex that failed by, wasn't there one?
You're thinking where Sea Light is now, on Business Park Drive.
A business park, I said.
Oh,
industrial.
okay,
The town actually owned that building.
yeah, no, yeah,
Oh, the old state building where they kept the hazmat truck?
Yes.
I always thought that was over on Sanborn Road, huh? I gotta
It's off of it.
correct my
Yeah,
memory.
over it.
Yeah.
So there's three types of construction philosophies, I guess if we want to call it. There is design build, where you hire you hire a contractor and tell the contractor basically the concept of what you want and your requirements, space-wise, all that kind of stuff. And with that, the contractor has all the say in how that building gets done, what materials are used, and you really have no say in it. Then there's the construction management, which is basically the same thing, except when there's a decision to be made, the decision is in council with the owners, which would be the commissioners in this case, as to, say that they, I don't know, they're gonna use cement block or bricks. And cement block costs so much and bricks cost so much, and we need to save some money, so this is a choice that you have, or, you know, cement board or something like that. You have a say in what that decision is. And then the final type of philosophy is build spec. So you sit down with the architect, you specify the building that you want, the materials to be used, and the construction methods to be used. You bid it out, it goes out to all these people, and the bids come back in, and that's the exact building you get. That's generally the most costly way of doing it. design build can be the cheapest way. Construction management might be a little bit more than design build, but in my opinion, construction management is the best way to go because you have a say in how they're going to manage the costs, whereas just leaving it up to the contractor entirely, you don't know what's going to happen. And it's entirely up to him in that respect. And that was the method that the commissioners had chosen before, was construction management using Kyle Barker as the architect and Bonner Page and Stone was the construction manager. So no matter what you do, you still need an architect, you still need stamp plans. And, but if you're using design, build, or construction management, if you stay with Bonner Page and Stone, they would manage the electricians, the plumbers, and all that kind of stuff, and how the plumbing is designed and things like that. They handle that in-house usually, unless they don't have an expert in-house to handle a specific trade.
Do they have an architect that we would be working with, or would we have to go find another architect, or keep using the other?
They usually don't. They usually have outside architects, but if you bring them like a drawing, it still needs an architect's stamp on it to get a building permit. So you still need to use an architect.
I just didn't know if it was an architect that they would have, or just still.
They may have someone on staff within.
Well, that's what I was thinking. But so they don't want to use. The committee doesn't want to use.
There's some reservation there, is a polite way of putting it. It's just last time, every time we asked what could be built, it was a dance around to get an answer, unfortunately. And that's one of the things that, and the more, and the cost goes up, the less chance that it's gonna happen. You don't want to build something in a paper bag that's gonna blow away with the first windstorm, but you also need to cost versus benefit, pros versus cons to get the town to actually buy into it. So they're looking at an addition onto the exact existing station, like a U-shaped or Y-shaped, and then add some more bays over there, and then add your admin, your dorms and all that stuff. But trying to fit it in, that's why we're trying to get every piece of equipment that, or drawing that we've had in the past, because that has a lot that you can work from.
I think we had, I remember we had one once there.
Are they digitally kept somewhere, or are they?
That's the reason why
Yeah.
we asked
So
for
I
it.
don't think we ever got a digital copy of the Tilton School property. We had drawings of that somewhere, and I can't find those. I'm sure we can probably find them somewhere.
I'm sure that he has digitals there, and where the district already paid for it once, we
So-
kind of want copies.
Well, we probably, so Kyle Barker was with Warren Street Architects
He
at
had moved
first.
on after that.
And then he's moved on, and the commissioners kept him after that. So the material for the Tilton School was with Warren Street, and we may have to get that material because it may be proprietary to Warren Street and not Kyle Barker.
So, yes, so essentially if the district paid money to Warren Street or Kyle Barker while Kyle Barker was Warren Street, the station committee is asking for every document that was given to them or from them that was paid for with district money to come to the station committee.
Yep.
I can't imagine. I mean, yeah, Warren Barker, whatever his name is, was
Warren
the architect. He was, well, Warren Street was the architect, so they probably have it because.
They would have it on file somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
So. Anything else from the station committee?
That's the big thing that it's really tight working on the process, and so trying to get as much of that stuff as fast as possible. So. But I know San Bernardino went through this process, and that's how they were able to cut significant costs when they did their public safety building. So design build or the construction management, either one of those. But what we've done in the past, apparently not be able to get to the public. And I don't know if they'll shave some costs or not. Some of the committee believes it will. So,
So I guess, so do we need to take any action here as a board to get that, or just tell the chief we need to?
no, I reached out to the chief before, and he's working on getting that stuff, but we're definitely, the sooner the better on that
Well, yeah,
stuff.
'cause we're,
The borings was the only other thing, and the chief's already taken care of that on behalf of the committee. We bought that before. So we've only had 2 meetings. It's meeting every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So next week we meet again, and that's part of why I wanted to make sure we brought this to the commissioners from them.
Let me ask you a question. How was the meetings going? As a whole?
It's collaborative.
Okay.
Yep, we have some naysayers in the crowd, which are good, because we're short people. I will say that. I mean, we've lost people and things like that, and you need to keep recruiting. We haven't heard anyone. Chris, I owe him an apology. I didn't realize he was the actual, it's like, the name just didn't click with me with everything going on, so I gotta reach out to him. But no, it's collaborative. There's some people that are naysayers, and then, like I said, if I can sell the naysayer, we can sell the public. I think it would be a good mashup of people. Just need more Northfield representation to even it out.
non-public session?
We don't need it for that because John covered it, was there for at his request.
Oh, okay. Do we need to go into non-public then?
I think you pretty much covered it.
I don't remember, so. It's there if
If it comes back to you, we can always go back
yeah,
to
we
it.
can go there after.
All right, let's review the minutes of August 10th, 2021.
Question for you.
Sure.
Is there gonna be further any other business? Because we had a couple
Yes,
outstanding things in the past.
the 2022 budget, starting pay is on there.
Okay. What about the Lake Street Mutual Fire Aid Tilton Northfield sit down together as an old business?
I don't know anything about that.
We had talked about it with the dissolving of the state school, and Tilton Northfield Tilton wanted to defer the cost of the step away from the membership. We had talked about in the past
Also,
meeting.
not the
Northfield.
one.
I'm sorry, thank you. Yeah, but we had talked about all the parties sitting down together, the commissioners, Tilton Selectmen, and the Northfield Selectmen.
I don't believe there's been any action on it.
Okay, because that was one of the things we had sent out.
Do we want to invite both boards to our next meeting?
To you.
Yeah, back August 10th, it was actually in the minutes that we were going to reach out to them.
Oh, thanks.
Any update from the state chief on,
That's all.
on any of
No,
that?
no,
On the
So,
property?
Yeah, it's
no,
right there.
no date has
yeah,
been
no, I'm
made
just looking.
on moving us out yet.
Okay.
But it's not gonna be
So,
long.
did you reach out to the,
They want it to move along as
I haven't
quickly
reached
as
out to
possible,
anybody.
So the
so,
state wants them out though.
yeah,
I
by December
believe that the chief was going to do it.
well, it just says here, it says, it was decided that Kathy will reach out to the administrative assistants of both.
Okay,
Leave
that's
the
fine,
Facility in
because,
place by
I
then
mean,
at the
that
same
was,
time.
all
It
right,
was
so,
back in August.
yeah, so
Makes
what am
no
I doing
sense with
now?
911 being right
You're
there.
gonna reach out.
Talk to
Right
the,
by
so
the
the
arrow.
full,
Okay.
the governor
Oh, that letter, yeah.
has not really related to
I will do that,
anybody
yes.
who's willing to say what his motives are and what,
So this is,
what deals maybe be going on behind the scenes, I don't know.
So he hasn't said yes or no to
Is there an election this year in
saving a
town?
piece of property for dispatch
On
or
election day?
911?
What he
don't
said is that he's gonna take care
think
of us.
so.
I don't think so.
I know there
And we
is in
should believe him.
Laconia because of city stuff.
Governor?
Yeah, mayor.
You're right, but it's not,
Through the Commissioner of Public Safety, Commissioner
I
Quinn
haven't seen,
has said
there's
it.
no senators, there's no
He's
representatives.
asked.
I don't think so,
Because
no,
it's not mid,
Director
next year
Doyle
will be
from
midterm
911.
elections.
because this is
To
an
relay
odd
that
year.
message to us as well.
I
There's
think
something
Franklin
big
has
going
a
on.
race.
Probably.
So that's,
One can only
So let's
speculate.
talk about that one.
It's all speculation as to what may be happening, but what they are doing is, they did get bids to have a company market the
Alright, so
property.
I will deal with that.
In its entirety.
in its
Jeannie is
entirety.
out of town, just to let you know.
Oh, I guess I won't deal with that until next week then.
Yeah, she won't be back until Tuesday, I believe.
Me too.
So, but if we can get them here for our next meeting, and I would almost say asking Tilton if we can use the police station, because it has a bigger, and it has, you can record it and make it live. So ask if it could be used at the Tilton Police Station, in the
Okay.
EOC.
Nice one.
With what? I've used it many times. Now we're back here in Town Hall. Eventually we'll make the audio like that over there.
Another old business I had was, we made any progress on a special meeting as required by the court?
No.
Okay.
In fact, we got another water bill this week, which I sent copies of to our attorney. I haven't had any contact from him since, I did that this morning, so I
Okay.
haven't.
So don't we have to petition the court? I mean, we need to do that so it looks like we're acting in
We're
good faith.
doing good faith.
Yeah, so that's, the attorney has that, and he's aware of that, and so I don't know
Okay.
exactly where, I haven't talked to him.
Can we get an update from him just to find out? Because we're running out of a year.
Yeah,
We have, what, 10 weeks left? 11 weeks maybe? I would like to put this to bed if we can.
I'll call him tomorrow.
Just find out what we need to do. And I know the wheels of justice are slow and it's turning very slowly right now because,
This, I think we were waiting to see what was going to happen. Well, I know the motion to dismiss, I think, is on the 14th.
It is October 14th at 2:15.
2:15, and we're scheduled for 15 minutes.
Yep.
If it takes that long.
and the public jump in on that.
You said no last time.
The connection was in the email that she sent out.
Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes, but if someone wants to connect, can we send them that connection?
Oh, I don't
would ask the
know.
attorney.
Can you ask that for me, please?
That would be a recommendation.
I just have someone that had asked me to keep them updated and had asked if they could.
I think they should be able to. I think it's all public information. This is not a closed hearing or anything like that, but I'll ask the attorney about.
Just in case.
That's October 14th.
Yep.
It's not what I want.
Oh. WebEx. Oh,
So that was it from the old business I was tracking.
WebEx here. 2:15 PM. You said 2:15, right?
Yeah, it's at 2:15.
Which means it'll be at 3:15 based on the last one.
Yeah, scheduled and actual are not synonymous.
No.
The non-public was that thing that you were asking about, and I think things are going good, so nothing I had to,
Okay, good.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, that was, it had to do with the station committee.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember where it could have been, and I think that's what it was. I don't think that's the matter.
Yeah.
I know you get.
I'm pretty sure that's
and
what it
that has
was
links.
because of what you
That's just-
said at the last meeting.
Yeah, just in
So I gotta
case.
make sure I have WebEx. That's what they used last time, it was WebEx, wasn't it?
I was there last time,
So
too.
I think I was just able to connect with the link.
So do you want to do the budget starting pay now before we go into non-public? I mean, do the minutes?
Yes. Do we want to do the minutes of August 10th? Approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of August 10th.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. minutes of September 7th, 2021.
Motion to accept September 7th.
I'll second it.
Motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None, motion passes.
Oops, I missed.
Motion, minutes of September 21st, 2021.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes of September 21st, 2021.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None, motion passes. Minutes of September 28th, 2021.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes, September 28th, 2021, as written.
And I'll second it.
Motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None, motion passes. All right. Oh, this is minutes for non-public. Wait a minute, I'm confused.
We're talking about reorganizing or reordering 2022 budget starting pay before the public. Was a suggestion put out there,
Wait, what are you reading?
right below the non-public.
Oh, you want to talk about that? The 2022 budget, starting pay?
You have stuff for
The
the,
chief has it.
I mean, for the non-public portion of it.
Oh, I do,
Oh, I
yes.
don't have it.
Okay.
I have all of that, yes.
So, yeah, I would just say put that at the end as a recommendation.
Oh, you want to move the non-public to the end of everything else?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I'll
I'm
make a
on the same
motion to
page.
move non-public to beyond the other
I will
public stuff.
second that. I don't think we have to make a motion, I think we
No,
just,
you can just do it.
Reorganize.
I'm the
Just move
chair,
it.
yeah,
You can do
you're,
it.
yeah, so we're gonna move this down to here at the end. So, let's talk about 2020. 2022 is not part of the budget is not a non-public.
No, it's not
Okay,
non-public.
all right, I'm just trying to catch up here. Starting pay. Oh, I
So-
see an article I've read.
Yeah.
Got it, thank you.
Did you get some more towns in this?
Yes, so
Further away towns?
they're further away towns.
All right.
So, as you all know, our starting pay currently is $17.93 an hour. Doing a survey of municipalities over the past month or so, a little bit more than that maybe, trying to get information from other communities to where starting pay is. And I put them into two groups. The top group is starting pay and what they get for holidays, what they pay for a family plan, if they pay for anything else. And then I put their total compensation in the far right-hand column, so it's more of an apples-to-apples comparison. Others that has some of that information, but I just basically tried to get the starting pay from towns further away to see where we fall. And the average within the Lakes region, starting pay is $19.59. The average pay away from the Lakes region, and that's actually going in both directions, north and south, is $21.31. Somebody asked about captain starting pay, and so I did those for what I could get, and that's listed at the bottom. And how many steps there were. Some don't have steps, but most do. So that information is contained there as well. And my recommendation, which is contained within the budget that I proposed, is that our starting pay be moved up to $19 and, I don't have that,
I thought you
$19
had
and,
said 40, but maybe
it's 1987, I think.
Hold on, I'll look.
I was looking at 20, but within our wage and step scale, I think it's 1987.
That's right, 'cause
Because it's already in the wage and step scale, and it would bring us just above what they're doing right now, from the data that I have of midline, but I also already know Laconia's reached, they're changing what they're doing already. As you can see in the want ad that they put out, they have sign-on bonuses now. They're renegotiating their collective bargaining agreement, and so they're going to be higher than where they are now than after this bargaining agreement. In looking at the state's website today on excuse me, 1978 is what I was looking for. Looking at the state's website today, these communities are looking for one or more EMTs. And I can read you the whole list. 1, 2, but I'll just count it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 30 communities within the state currently are advertising for one or more firefighters. And all of the ones that are listed have a starting pay higher that I know about than what we pay. Considering that our bottom 4 employees, one has already left to go back to the private sector, that we want to, now that we have these employees, we want to keep them, and is really being a safer, there's no guarantee that we are going to keep them, because they are safer employees, and the commissioners and the budget committee have not related to anybody saying that it's like they're making a commitment to keep these folks on. It's very likely that these folks can just pick up and leave and go somewhere else for better pay and at least equal benefits that I can see, probably better.
More security.
Yes.
With the security of not having to lose the job in 2.5 years.
Well, they signed, being on this government thing, they cannot just up and leave,
Yes, they can.
can they?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
At will.
Okay.
with their employees at will, and they are, and which means that we could terminate them for any reason, and they can leave,
Well,
hopefully with proper notice.
yeah, so we can terminate them, but we have to replace them.
Well,
If there's a pool to replace them.
Right.
well, they're all fishing in the same pool, the pool's pretty,
Pool is extremely,
Chief, that
Non-existent.
baby you were looking for was 1972. That's on the spreadsheet.
okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So, I'm just looking here, so, a salary, 2020, $39,159. Right?
Yep. That's their annual
Right,
salary.
is that an AEMT?
Yes.
Okay, so there's $3,000. So, and I'm just processing this. So, in a sense, if someone was hired by Laconia as an AEMT, their base salary for the year is technically $47,000 for the first year.
Yes.
But then in the year 2, all things being equal, it would drop down to $44,000. Obviously, there's probably going to be a merit pay somewhere in there. And I see that there's a 7% salary increase at all steps in this ad.
Correct.
So, I'm not.
And they have 7 steps. Laconia has 7 steps.
Oh, so, year 2, 44,000 times 1.07 brings them up to, so ironically,
For paramedics.
AEMT, I'm just talking.
No, the 7% salary increase at all steps, including officers, for all paramedics.
Okay,
So
so,
to keep their paramedics, they're doing a 7% yearly.
okay, so let's just say we hire, let's say we hire a paramedic. So their first year salary is $48,000. Based on that,
Well, actually, it would be higher because this is a EMT. A paramedic gets more pay to start with,
okay,
so.
but using that example, their salary year 2 would be $47,000 at 7%. So they only really lose $1,000, and I'm sure they can make that up in overtime over the course of a year.
So just some rough math, when I did this, I took where we were at 68.579, where we were looking somewhere in the 19s. I kind of went based on Bristol of the 19.92. I know that's a slight above what you were looking at, but just for raw numbers to be able to look at it. So the difference that came out to was 45.62 between Bristol starting and where we are. So that would be per person. Now, you're going to have to multiply that currently by the non-officers at minimum. So you're talking 2 per shift, so you're talking 8. So the impact alone is going to be 36,494, and that's before the Safer Grant people. The Safer Grant would be adding in another 4 people on top of that, so another 16. Actually,
But the chief had, I believe the chief said at the last meeting that the Safer Grant could cover that increase.
right, that's the reason why I didn't include that in the initial. So this is on our current. I didn't put the officers in there because the officers is going to be different, so I didn't throw that in for the quick math. But the impact alone, just for the first year, starting out is 36,494. If to jump to that, that's just ballpark thinking to have in the head.
I mean,
And
the
that's
total cost would be $36,000.
Yeah, I took his total columns.
Yeah.
So it's 36 for that, and then on top of that would be officers on top of that. But like I said, the math would be a little bit different on that, so that's why I didn't do that yet. And then we, what was it? We had 20 steps. And 2.5 for every step. I'm just throwing it out there as raw numbers conceptually as we start out this process.
Now, and the other thing too, what about a step increase this year? Is that included in there?
No.
So when we do,
I
when
just,
we do the budget, you're gonna ask for more money.
no, the budget, you have my budget proposal, which is
And
basically.
did that give them a raise though? I mean,
It does give them a
It does
raise.
give them a raise.
It gives them, it brings,
Does it give them the starting pay increase, the pay increase, or does it give them a merit increase or both?
it raises the starting pay to $19 and whatever I said it was.
1972.
Yeah,
It also increases everybody else's pay equally.
that's,
Because if we didn't,
Right.
the ranks would be mushed together. And folks that were working, already have a few years, we just give the starting guys. You have to.
oh, I
you have to keep
understand,
it
yeah, I
even
understand that, it's
throughout
just,
the organization.
So, I'm allowed to ask this question, give me a minute, if someone else wants to go.
I just, to me, does any of this include, I know if they don't take the insurance, they get a lump sum.
Yes.
I wonder if any of the other places do that.
Yes,
They do?
yes.
It's a lot cheaper, so
It's-
I'm sure they all
Oh,
offer
I'm
it.
sure they do, yeah.
It's usually cheaper to offer a buyout than it is to pay for a double or a family health plan. It's an incentive to, like, for me, offer anybody to use your spouses. It seems
I
like it's
mean-
counterintuitive, I know, but in the end, it's actually cheaper.
I guess the way I look at it, every year we've given them a raise, and nobody's ever denied it, we've given them a raise. But this is quite a significant raise to, bring it up there.
Just kind of the baseline mean.
Yeah. And like I said, it's everybody, it's not just the starters, it's everybody then. To give them that kind of a raise is quite a jump.
Well,
So if you, to kind of compare that, you could look at where it is for captains, where their starting pay is and where everybody else starts their captains. So we're behind in the whole scheme of things pay-wise. And it just seems like it would be the fair thing to do to put us somewhere near the middle and not at the
Mhm.
very bottom. And it's important that we keep who we have. We don't really like losing people here, but if we don't bring us at least to the middle, we're gonna incentivize people to leave. And there's nobody to hire to come back. I know right now, I talked to the chief in Plymouth, he just hired a female from the fire academy, and she's already left to go to Laconia because of the pay raise. I know it's, right now, the fire chiefs, our fire departments are pilfering from other fire departments. And we're easy pickings right now, and I don't want that to, I think we have really good folks here. Well, I don't think it, I know it. And I don't want to see the quality of our care and the service that we provide be harmed by losing the folks that we have here. We've invested in these folks. Time, training, going through processes to pick out the right people to work for us. Deputy Joubert has run a number of hiring processes. I don't even know how many we've had over the past 2 years because, hiring that we've had to do because some folks have left and things like that. It's, right now, I can tell you, there was nobody left to hire. And they've already had a recruit class that graduated like 2 months ago. They're all gone. I mean, when you see Nashua that had a big hiring process last year and they're already looking for new folks. Merrimack was just awarded a SAFER grant to hire 8 people. I heard that they're going to have to turn it down because they can't hire 8 people.
Meaning they can't actually get 8 people to come in?
Well,
Or they
eight people to,
to fulfill the grant?
yeah.
That's just how I wanted to ask my question. John, what was that, you said it was roughly 36,000, 36.
Per person, roughly 36,494, so pretty much
The
36,500
total impact.
from the total column, and that's per person.
36,000 per person?
That doesn't seem that.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, no, that's for, no, per person, it was 4562, was the per person difference in the, Bristol at 19.92 to Tilton Northfield 7.93. So the rough math, plus or minus, comes out to about 4562.
So the impact, because it's not gonna affect, it'll affect holiday pay, it'll affect, those things, it's not gonna affect
Well,
insurance
ulti-
rates.
That's
Ultimately,
all
it-
over here, so I included it across the board
Yeah.
on,
Well, my question is, okay, someone leaves, whoever, I don't care who you pick, we'll just pick someone that's making minimum. Of these departments, do you know what the longest that someone is going without fulfilling a position? Is it going 90 days, is it 10 days, is it 180 days that they need to fill that's taken to fill these positions?
people are just, it's revolving door, so.
No, but I guess my point is, you know, we're looking at the economic cost, but on the other side of that, what would our cost be to, to fill that position with overtime, because it's only gonna be filled in overtime, am I
That's
right?
correct.
So,
Or per diem.
or per diem, but we don't currently do per diem.
Correct.
So, but what's that cost gonna be to us for, you okay?
Yeah, just take a nap.
All right. All right, sorry. You know,
I didn't wake you up, Mike.
Okay now.
So what's that cost gonna be for, you know, let's say it takes 90 days for us to replace someone, just throw that number out there. What's that cost gonna be versus the increase? You know, what's it gonna cost us in overtime to fill that position? And it's not one person that gets it, it's spread across the department.
It is.
So,
It is usually a higher paying,
90 days is
it's usually a
12 weeks.
captain or someone like that
How many hours
replacing
do
that
you
position.
do, per?
Firefighter replaces a firefighter.
Well, you figure it's a 24-hour shift. So
But there's some
irregardless,
firefighters
it's gonna
that
be a
make more than that.
24-hour
Right.
shift, no matter.
So 12.
Right,
You
so
know,
a $21 an hour firefighter's
You do
replacing
10s and
17.
14s.
There's definitely a cost associated with it.
Well, that's what we're trying to see, what's
Right.
the offsetting,
So,
Hold on.
that makes sense, maybe not?
No, it does, absolutely.
You know,
And that-
So it's 26 an hour. Or
I know he loves overtime.
7 an hour.
Also likes the institutional knowledge.
Well, that's the other thing, that's,
Yeah.
that's the intangibles, that's the
So it'd be
problem.
$645 per shift.
It's about, in 3 months, it'd be about $21,000, $21,000,
That's what it'll cost us,
just in salary,
In overtime.
yeah.
yeah.
so, I mean, it almost seems, I mean, it is no guarantee, it's a Band-Aid, you know, I mean,
The other thing you didn't figure in there is, you know, you figured a salary rate, person making that kind of money, that what he makes, what it would cost. What about add the overtime in there too?
Well, that's what I did.
That was
I just
the
did the
overtime.
time and a half.
Oh, you did,
Based on
okay.
his the 17 at 1.5, which would have been $645 a day, just the ballpark low math, and then however many days it would be shifts that would.
So simple math, say $84,000 a year total budget effect.
Yep.
Mhm.
What did you jump?
That's an overtime. If we had to cover it with overtime.
which we, I mean, anything is covered in overtime, so. But here, I guess, all these towns are going through the same process we're going through right now, doing budget season, it's budget season, unless they operate on a fiscal calendar, which I think Franklin may do.
Brankwood does operate, and so does Laconia.
Oh, they do, okay.
But in reality, the best part is that you could go up to the 19.72,
And it's
and
not
then come
enough.
budget season,
It's not,
everyone's gonna jump up because they can't fill and keep.
right.
So instead of being at the bottom, we'll be at mean for all of 4 months.
But that's the problem, people are leaving for 50 cents an hour, you
Yeah.
know, and I get it, I mean, you know, I get it where I work, we have you know, we hire, and right across the parking lot, McDonald's is hiring at $14-15 an hour, more than enough. You know, but it's quality of life, and I get it. You know, you don't wanna be, everyone, you don't wanna become a training ground, and we're having similar discussion on the town side with the police department. You know, at the upper part of the staffing, we're competitive, but for beginner pay, we're lagging, and we're not getting candidates. And they're, you know, we're getting candidates, but they're, you know, they're coming from higher paying towns, and that's what we're up against. You know, I don't wanna say we're a poor town, but we, you know, the scale of economics are not in our favor. You know, with our residents, and, you know, you take someone that comes from Hanover, you know, that they have more money up there. You take, I'm surprised Carroll, I mean, they have good, you know, they have a good pay rate up there. I don't know how many calls they do, but,
Probably about 500 a year.
right, but they have full-time staff,
Yeah.
you know. And probably about, you know, 100 of those calls are moose collisions. I mean,
Not anymore.
No, probably 50 now.
I just think the reality of it, unfortunately, is we have gotten a raise every year, but
Right, but
other
it's
things
just
have, everything's have increased at the same time, and now there's such a demand for personnel, it's become so competitive.
Right, but we also have to look at,
Right,
have our taxpayers receive similar raises, and I'm gonna say in most cases, they may not have. It's,
no, I get it, it just,
it's just like everyone says, oh, the minimum wage should be $15 an hour, well, that just raises the cost of everything, and it really doesn't have an effect.
Because what's been really hard is that, yes, you've given raises every year, but we haven't raised the beginning rate,
Right.
which has created this problem. Because we weren't keeping up
That's a
at the
tough
start.
decision.
and every municipality's gonna be going through it.
The government only pays you your social security. You don't get that kind of a raise, I mean, they don't,
We don't get social security
I
either.
know you don't. But when you do,
But, I think we all agree that something needs to be done, but I'm speaking for me, something needs to be done, because we don't wanna lose people, because there's gonna be more to replace them. And as Deputy Joubert just brought up, the intangible stuff, that the knowledge of the town, the knowledge of the buildings, the knowledge of the woods, the neighborhoods.
We have, in my opinion, an unbelievable reputation, the fire service for the state of New Hampshire, and that goes pretty far with our ability to hire people and keep people.
Well, we're a small town with big city problems,
Exactly,
you know.
but that only go so far these days,
No,
unfortunately.
I get it,
I mean, people want to come work here.
you
That's-
can say that
that's
too,
not the case
and
anymore.
people are gonna say, well, if they wanna come work here, let them come work here, and they can make less.
If they can't afford it.
I know.
No, that's the problem.
Ultimately, you still have to buy a car, and you have to
No,
put
you
food
got-
on the table and pay for a mortgage and
I get it.
daycare for your children and all that kind of stuff.
I get it, it's like. What are you typing over there? He's doing some type of calculation.
No, I'm trying to look at some emails and stuff. Because I'm going through this with other boards. I'm still doing some thinking for a bit. Because I believe you, Kathy, had sent us a spreadsheet a while ago. Yeah, there it is.
I did, yes.
Yep. That's what I was going to. Okay.
What's the date of the spreadsheet?
Back out one, it was sent on September 8th.
It was more than one, wasn't it? It had
That was
several scenarios on it.
Yeah, it's a very
Wage scale?
Wage scale.
Yeah.
2.5, 5.4, chief proposal, yep. I haven't had a chance to absorb that completely because I'm getting beat up on a different committee where I'm dealing with wage salaries and different
Is
negotiations.
this all different colors here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I definitely want more time to absorb that because, like I said, I'm going through this with the teachers right now. Now, your current one, oh, steps are that way, and then your grades are that way, okay. I was looking for that because it stopped earlier before 20. Yeah, I gotta sit down with the whiteboard and do some funky stuff.
So are you looking for a decision on this tonight, chief, or is this something at a,
That impact our budget.
well, he has his budget presented to us, has
Has it in there already?
it already in there.
I don't like being at the bottom of anything because I don't like being at the top, but I don't like being at the bottom because then you're the donor for everything.
Okay, one thing that might help with your decision is I found out today that our health insurance is going down 8.1%.
overall for the
Over-
family plan.
overall. I will have those figures.
We thought, we
For
were
the next
expecting it
meeting.
to be an increase.
We thought it was gonna be an
It
increase.
was gonna be like a 9 or 8, or the opposite way, so it's a 16.20.
Yeah, it went down 8.5,
For now.
8.1%.
But 3 or 4 years from now, it could swing back the
No,
other way.
oh, I get it, but at least for this year, let's enjoy the ride.
Yes.
So for the meeting on Tuesday, I will have those,
Thank you.
those figures in there,
All right.
so that'll help.
If we put this on our agenda for next Tuesday,
Well, next Tuesday's our budget
right,
workshop anyways.
right, what I'm saying is, can we make the motion to accept the change at that time, or do we have
Yeah.
to do that?
Yes.
We can do
Well, I
whatever
just
we
rather-
want for
yeah.
our number.
No,
You can put any number you want in there from 0 to 10 million. It's
Yeah.
the budget
I didn't win the
committee's-
Powerball this week,
It's the
so,
budget committee's number that
They'll
goes.
look at it after the fact.
yeah.
Right.
They'll
What,
look at it
and the
on
budget
Friday.
committee, but,
The
I didn't,
15th.
They start.
15th,
Yeah,
thank
they
you.
start on Friday.
I talked to you today and I didn't put it in. That is,
It's 5 off 7.
No, I've got just a couple dates in my calendar.
Oh,
Yeah, I just,
I know, I've personally put a lot of work into this to try and be fair. And again, I'm not looking to be the top paid, and I definitely don't want to be the bottom paid. And I think what I proposed is fair for now.
did you do the average, the mean average to get your .72, or did you go a percentage off of what you were?
Went a percentage off what we were.
Okay, so that's how you came up with the 19.72 from that 7.9?
Yeah, it's in the wage scale
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay.
And realistically, I probably should have gone higher, but then I said, no, I'll go lower than what I did.
Well, if you started going higher, then you were gonna be on the upper side of things, so
Yeah, but I also know that everybody else is doing the same thing right now,
Correct.
and,
that's what we were talking
and well, you know how it works out.
about. So now, your impact on the captains, just for food for thought to absorb before Tuesday. How are you gonna adjust them?
It's an equal,
So you're gonna do a percentage increase across the board for everything?
yes,
so it's not gonna create a bigger disparity because
no.
if the captains make more, so if 10%, just
It's,
using 10%.
I kept them within the wage scale, so they stayed in the same column. We just moved the starting pay, and everything else in that spreadsheet is adjusted.
Which is why I wanted you to see it that way.
Mhm.
Because your labor grade step 1, or labor grade 1, step 1 is 1433. Funny one for that. Okay. Yeah. So Tuesday for this.
And I highlighted the 4 columns that affect, on the wage scale, the 4 columns that affect us.
The
Yellow,
others-
green, yellow, green.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
others are, we
Yellow's
don't have anybody in
EMT,
those positions, any of those.
Firefighters, medics, are
Green.
green.
Yep.
Yellow and green.
I'm gonna start at 1, it's not enough.
So you're captain, so you're either captain or you're,
A firefighter.
We're not big enough to have
no,
engine lieutenants and all that.
Chief.
or chief. Or deputy,
Or battalion chief.
or deputy. Well, there's a lot to digest here, and
I realize it's a lot, and granted, I've been looking at this for a long time, and you guys really haven't had the exposure to it that I have. And,
I appreciate the effort you put into it, both of you. Definitely. It's just trying to figure out,
We have to take the taxpayers
That's-
into account, but we also have to look at the other side of, there's a lot to look at, because there's the negative effect if we start losing people. There's a financial impact for every person that we lose. You know, I mean, all those departments that you listed, I mean, the 30, I mean, are most of them looking for just one, or is some looking for more than one?
Some are definitely looking for more than one.
I think Laconia, the article said they were down like 2.
Yeah.
been
Laconia's looking for
looking for a
2 right
while.
now.
And they also did that same thing for their police department. They did that, the same,
there's also a few other towns applying for safer grants.
yeah.
All the applications are in
Okay.
for SAFER. It's just a matter of the awards coming out. And as they've awarded all the SAFER grants that they're going to award, any additional SAFER grants from here on out are going to be because people have not accepted the grant that they have been awarded. So then they'll turn that around and give it to somebody else.
Say, move along.
Yeah,
move on,
I'm okay.
For Tuesday, definitely, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest, so I'd like to, we can bring this back up at our, next week. You okay with that, Paul?
I'm fine.
John, you okay with that?
We'll probably, what are you thinking, looking at Tuesday or?
Yeah,
your
I think
plan?
just look at, I mean, we may not make a decision, but we can have a more educated discussion.
If any of you have any questions or need additional information or specific questions, please just send me an email or something
Sure.
so that I can work on that and get you the proper answer.
The plan for Tuesday. Yep.
I probably won't get a decent look at it until the weekend, which means that you won't see it until Tuesday.
That's
How's it close to a quarter?
Tuesday.
Well, if Monday's a holiday, I think it's a holiday.
Monday is a holiday.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
But
it
if I
is.
get an email, I can probably
Yeah.
do something on a holiday.
Holidays, so.
I'm shutting my phone off, so only for emergencies.
Hard to know if it's an emergency, if it's off.
Well,
So
I'll,
She'll screen as
I
well.
can, I
I'll
can work on it
screen.
all Tuesday morning too.
Yeah.
yeah.
And whatever question you have, probably won't take me too long
So,
with all the spreadsheets.
All right.
I just
so we'll move on
have to pick the
to
right one.
sign the manifest, which you.
There are none. I didn't get them done.
All right,
I ran out of time.
so our next meeting day is,
Non-public, you gotta do.
Non-public.
oh yeah. So I guess, can I read it? Because I don't know it off the top of my head. All right. All right. So. Loser, so I'll make a motion to enter non-public session at 7:05 PM, citing RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, C. Matters which if discussed in public would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board, unless such person requests an open meeting. This exemption shall extend to include any application for assistance or tax abatement or waiver of a fee, fine, or other levy, if based on inability to pay or poverty of the applicant. Roll call vote to enter non-public session. Oh wait, it wasn't seconded.
I'll second it.
John. Roll call vote. Paul Ozer,
Yes.
John Silly,
Yes.
Eric Pyrie, yes. Stop the recorder.
What time?
We are stopping the recorder at 7:06. And the camera. And powered up.
All right, it's on.
Repeat that.
Motion to come out of non-public.
I second it. Yeah. Did you get it done?
Oh, no, I had it right.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I scribbled. All right, roll call vote, Paul Ozer,
Yes.
John Silly.
Yes.
Eric Powers, yes. Motion passed. Restart, stop the recorder, restart the,
Yeah.
all right. Public session reconvened at 7:25 PM. Seal the minutes. I'll make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public session because it's determined that divulgence of this information would affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board.
Second.
Second and John, yes. Roll call vote to seal these minutes. Paul Ozer,
Yes.
John Silly.
Yes.
Eric Powers, yes. Motion passed. These minutes recorded by me. I will pass those over to you. The time being 7:28. Is there any other business to come before this board this evening?
No.
Hearing none. I'll entertain a motion. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
You know you're not gonna get that from me ever. I'll second it though.
I second it at 7:29. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned at 7:29. Thank you and have a nice day.
I will not make
Yeah,
a
I'm awake
motion
now,
to
the air
adjourn. I
conditioner
will
came
not.
on. It got hot,
Really?
wow.
Just to be,
Done.
I will sit here for a half hour looking at
Is this mine or
people.
is this yours?